A few years back, my family and I visited Jerusalem, a city whose very existence is testament to religious diversity. As Jerusalem is holy to three major religions, the Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, it is a spiritual hotbed. Now, while at Jerusalem, we had the opportunity to visit mosques, synagogues, and churches. And at one such mosque, among the bustling of other tourists, there sat a solitary figure in the corner. Now, his focus was such that, despite the bustling chatter which was occurring
Just outside of his vision, he had eyes only for the Quran in front of him and a notebook in which he intermittently scrawled notes. Now, our tour group moved on, the moment was lost, and the memory forgotten. That is, until the next summer. I had the opportunity to visit CERN, in particular their LHC. The Large Hadron Collider, notable for discovering the God particle, widely regarded as the single greatest engineering achievement by mankind and the collective effort of over 100 countries, it's a testament to scientific curiosity. Now, it was here where the memory came back. While yet again on another tour, I spied a lone physicist up against a wall, frantically typing up notes next to a spreadsheet. That spreadsheet contained the data of the most recent particle collision, and he was just going on with his work, utterly ignoring the tourists just filing into the room. And it was in that moment that I was just struck with this profound sense of deja vu. See, these two people were doing the exact same thing. They were committing to their exact same search, a search for answers. The only difference between the two were their relative prisms of religion and science. Now, religion and science should not be thought of as antagonistic or antithetical to one another. Rather, they work together for a common purpose. That purpose is a search for meanings, for answers, and for an ultimate understanding of everything in our world. Now, religion is powerful in its authority and in the power of the human spirit. Now, I have been surrounded by three major sources and areas of religious and spiritual belief my entire life. The first would be my Hindu family. As, well, they are my family, and they are easily my biggest source of spirituality that I've ever had. I wear a necklace with Ganesh, a Hindu deity, on it, and I've read and heard stories upon stories of Hindu mythology and philosophies. But I've also lived in a few other places. I've lived in the Middle East for a majority of my life. And the Middle East is by no means secular. Some countries even passing restrictions on when one can eat in public because of the holy fasting that Muslim people partake in during the month of Ramadan, which, by the way, is happening right now at Exeter as well. Now, finally, my family and I moved to the US, Texas, where I had the opportunity to attend a Christian Orthodox school, where every week I got to go to chapel and religion class. And it was all three of these areas that have been instrumental in my development as a person. Each of them have made me the way that I am, somehow in some way, and the experiences have drilled into me the importance of a diversity of beliefs. Now, I'd like a demonstration. Raise your hand if you identify as religious. So we have a few raised hands, about 6, 7. I'm sorry, speakers and organizational team. Now, raise your hand if you identify as agnostic or atheist. We have quite a lot more hands. And the reason for that is because, well, there's been a rise in agnosticism and atheism, specifically in the US, and it's being referred to as a crisis of faith. Now, more people than ever, specifically younger people, such as the ones in this room, are losing their faiths. And I have to implore you, please do not abandon your faith just now. The perspectives necessary to face and think through these issues are simply ones that come with age, maturity, and age, wisdom, and maturity, and faith is simply not something that you can abandon. especially as many consider it antithetical to science. If you are a true person of science, you cannot believe in a man in the sky who dictates everything you should do. Yet, there is some overlap between the two subjects. And that confluence of religion and science comes, yet again, from that single shared subject. That subject to find the nature of our reality. Why are we here? Why have we, how did we all get here? Why are there laws of physics? Is there a God? And the most important question, why are we here? What is our purpose? These two subjects, religion and science, go their own way at finding these answers, but they're both instrumental in finding some way to these answers, and they're both instrumental in a search for the essence of reality. Now, science's power comes from a different source. Science's power comes from its inherent lack of ambiguity. Science is sure, exact, and comes to conclusions not from the thoughts of man, but from repeated observation and experimentation. Now, stemming from that surety, science has another difference from religion in that it changes. It often changes, or just says, I don't know. The amount of evidence necessary for a valid conclusion means that science doesn't have all the answers. But it's very confident with the ones it does have. And that confidence is what led me to science. I mean, I even started a YouTube channel called Essence of Reality, that very same peculiar name, because I believe we're all trying to understand the nature of our reality. My goal was, and still is, to get people interested in the subject and not be afraid or intimidated of it. Now, do I know all the answers that have evaded centuries of thinkers? No, I'm in 9th grade. Give me some time to make profound philosophical inquiries that shock the world. Maybe by senior year, we'll see. Now, we've gone over what some may think are the immutable differences between science and religion, and it's clear to see why they've been at odds. Science believes in no higher being, religion believes in one or many. Science believes that we are the product of 3.7 billion years of random chance, while religion says that we're intelligently designed, and we are separate from other animals. However, these two subjects were not always so at odds as they are today. In fact, up until a century or two ago, they were very nearly the same subject. Famous philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates, all the way back in ancient Greece, were among the progenitors of this shared subject. While Aristotle wasn't necessarily religious, he conceded that society needed religion to function. Conversely, Socrates was religious, and his religious views were firmly based in his rationally derived convictions. Fast forward to the 16th century, famous astronomers like Johannes Kepler and Copernicus were making these leaps in astronomical theory, something seen as so contrary to so many religious systems of belief. Yet the church at the time didn't hate their ideas, despite the oft-repeated story of heliocentrism. In fact, the church sanctioned Copernicus, and Kepler himself wanted to be a theologian. He famously claimed that astronomers were the highest priests of God. Maybe they can't simultaneously be true. Even so, they can still work together. They can help guide our view into a better understanding of the world. Now, science and religion have been at odds for so long, but maybe it's time that we change that. Maybe it's time that each and every one of you has to go through this journey yourself. But many scientific thinkers today might think, hang on, religion, it's kind of useless. All it causes is pain and division. So what's its function? Well, I believe that religion gives purpose, it gives meaning, and it gives a code of morality, values, and ethics that enable our societies to work together. Science believes that morality is artificial. Lions aren't evil, is they don't have a sense of morality. So why would we need to be any different? We're animals too. Well, for one other reason. We believe in something greater than the individual. Similarly, and having a code of morality is generally a pretty good thing. Similarly, many religious thinkers might argue that science distracts people from the true meaning of life. So what is its value? Well, science acts as a window. It gives us a view into the world. Cause and effect, it's all laid out in a line. the universe started to form. Stars formed, galaxies formed, a solar system started forming. Meteors deposited water and minerals on Earth. Life came from the primordial soup. It was us. There are a few simplifications there, but you get the general idea. Science guides us into a better understanding of the solid world, and we can harness that understanding, create technologies that advance the very human race. Now, these subjects aren't complete. With science, there is no hope except for knowledge for the sake of knowledge, and with religion, there is no direction except for a belief in that life is beautiful. So, was that Islamic scholar I saw in Jerusalem so different than that physicist at CERN? Or were they both trying to go through the exact same search, just through slightly different paths? I'm going through my own search and finding my own meaning through these different paths, and I truly hope that you do too. Thank you.